instruction video for pipetting using a micropipette. A micropipette is used for transferring very small volumes of liquid. These will be microliters of liquid, not milliliters. So we have 4 different micropipettes at each table. The smallest one goes up to 10 microliters and can hold as small as half a microliter of liquid. We also have what we call a P20, and these are all marked on the top. So this one will pipette from between 2 microliters all the way up to 20 microliters. The third one is the P100, which goes from 10 to 100 microliters, and the largest one is the P1000, which holds between 100 and 1000 microliters. Now each micropipette uses a different disposable tip. We have 3 sizes, basically small, medium, and large. So the largest tips go with your largest pipette. We have medium, and really small sizes. Now, to use this one as an example, this pipette box is taped shut with autoclave tape with black lines. That means that this box is sterile. So whenever you first open a brand new box, you're going to peel the autoclave tape off and stick it to the top. That way you know, and your lab partner will know, that this box is sterile and ready to use. Now, whenever you are pipetting, you will hold it in your dominant hand like this. My thumb right now is on the plunger. We have a volume window here, a volume dial, an ejector, and a tip ejector. So whenever you hold this, you will notice whenever you use your thumb to depress the plunger, when you first press down, you get to 1 stop, but then you can press a little bit harder and go to a 2nd stop. This first stop registers the volume that you have set your pipette to. If you push a little bit further to that 2nd stop, this is used to completely expel your volume. Whenever you are choosing which pipette to use for a certain volume, you want to choose the pipette that places your volume about in the middle of its range. Now let me show you some examples of how to set a micropipette. For example, this is set to 272. The 2 is marked by being on that first tip mark. This is the P20. That's exactly 13.0 microliters. This is the P10, and it is set to 2.05 microliters. So that 0 at the top, and then 2 gives us our 2 microliters, and then those bottom red numbers being halfway between 0 and 1 gives us 0.05. And then one last example, this is the P100. This is 51 microliters. So let's go ahead and transfer a volume. I'm going to use the P1000 and transfer 270 microliters. So let me get a pipette tip. It will just take some gentle pressure to get your tip onto your pipette. Let me open my first tube, and then I'm going to, with my thumb, depress the plunger just to the first stop. If you don't go all the way to the first stop, or you go too far, you're going to get not exactly the volume you're looking for. You'll get too low or too high. So depress just to the first stop, and then insert the tip into your tube only to the point where the pipette is completely protected from the tube by the tip itself. So I depressed to the first stop, and then I'm going to slowly let up on the plunger, and we've got our 270 microliters there. Open my new tube, and then again insert the tip into the tube and slowly depress the plunger. First to the first stop, and then all the way to the second stop to get rid of every drop of my volume. And then I will slowly pull out of the tube and slowly let go of the plunger. And then when you're ready to get rid of the tip, go to the disposal bag and use your thumb to depress the ejector button. Now, a few things to keep in mind when you're using a pipette is that once you have a tip that has a volume in it, don't tilt your pipette too far because the liquid can contaminate the micropipette. Also, I wouldn't lay it down or touch the pipette to anything other than the liquid you're going after. Even though the volume dial will let you set your pipette to lower or higher than what the pipette can handle, you shouldn't do that because it will decalibrate the pipette and also cause contamination. So always set your volume within what the pipette was made to do. And that's the end of this instruction video.